Hello, everybody. My name is MF Rance with two S's for legal reasons. And first up, we are back with Multiverse Bash. Anyway, so this episode is primarily going to be villains based. Like these top four villains, these two are giants, so they don't really count whether villains or heroes. And these bottom two are the heroes for the normal roster section. But otherwise, let's just start with our first villain to join the roster of Multiverse Bash. And our first villain is Cell. The reason I chose Cell is because I realized I did not have a Dragon Ball representative for the villains side of the roster. And, I've always liked Cell because his personality's fun. Always thinking he's perfect and stuff. And I think that would go well against other villains or characters who have a high ego like he does. Can you hear me breathing? I don't know. Anyway, next up, we got good old Snowflame. This was recommended to me by a buddy who was my first subscriber. We'll call him Ash. Ash recommended Snowflame because that's the only DC villain he knows. And of course, it's the cocaine powered villain, which is interesting choice if I'm being honest. But whatever. He was my first subscriber, so thank him for that, and also for giving me a good first choice as a villain to add. Next up, Ketheric Thorm from Baldur's Gate 3. I always found Ketheric super intimidating, probably because of his potential immortality depending on how you play Act 2, and also the fact that he was voiced by J. Jonah Jameson or slash Omni-Man, good old J.K. Simmons, who always has such an intimidating voice no matter what role he plays. Really fascinating stuff. He also has really wide range because he's been in a lot of like comedy sitcoms as well, besides all his roles of intimidating voices. And the last villain of the main roster will be Kintaro from Mortal Kombat. I chose Kintaro because I've always found him cooler than Goro because he's a cool tiger guy and he breathes fire. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I figured, he'd be a fun addition to the roster. And I don't think he's ever been playable in a Mortal Kombat game, but I don't know. I haven't really played all the Mortal Kombat games. I've only played like from one to I played MK1, the most recent one, and I've also played MK11. Oh, I also played MKX, which is probably one of the better ones, I feel like. So, Multiverse Bash definitely takes from a lot of fighting games. So that would include stuff like MKX or Invincible Versus or other such games that are fun with fighting and stuff. Uh, I always film my videos really late. I don't know why I'm suddenly saying this because I'm pretty sure it was known information that I film my videos late. But so sorry if I don't have that much to talk to. I tried to think while I was in the shower, but I didn't really. Oh, our next hero for the roster is Agent Venom. I'm gonna use the Anti-Venom costume as his base design because I feel like it would be fun to give him some of the abilities that for the Anti-Venom suit that were seen in Spider-Man 2. I recently started playing Spider-Man 2 again. That was super fun. I really enjoyed that because I jumped back into an old save from 2024, around when the game first came out. I was like, whoa, I don't remember at all what's going on. So I had to adjust to that pretty quickly because I landed right in the middle of like a boss fight, I think. I had the game deleted for a while just for space, but then I had the space for it, so I decided to play it again. I also kept seeing it on like YouTube Shorts live streams, which was weird, but it'll pop up anywhere. It'll really pop up anywhere. And next up on our list for the main heroes, we got the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. I feel like he would be an amazing fighter in the game because the lore of his music videos is absolutely insane. His power scaling is off the charts. He honestly might be able to beat Goku. I don't know. But I think his popularity alone makes him stronger than characters like Gojo and such. Because as much as the narrator glazes Gojo, what are we going to do about Michael Jackson, I always mentally saw him more powerful than Gojo. But now for our two giants being added today. Number one, I think it's the villain. Yeah, the villain. We got Ultraman Belial. Ultraman Belial is from a 2009 film where, like, I don't remember the name. It's a really long name because it's translated from Japanese. Well, I'm adding Ultraman Belial because I recently got the DLC for Gigabash with Ultraman Belial included, and he's super fun to play as, so I feel like he'd be a great addition to the roster of Multiverse Bash. And also, it'd be fun to see him interact with some of the other characters like Korag or Monster X, you know? Because those would be really interesting characters who are also giant and, costumed characters. And our hero edition for the roster of giants, obviously, we may have the human in Giant Man and the human piloting robot in Gypsy Danger or the Megazord, but we need Godzilla's main enemy in King Kong, bro. King Kong was always one of my favorites. I always preferred him over Godzilla because big monkey funny than big lizard, you know. So I always preferred him, but the game wouldn't be complete without him. I feel like, and he was always so fascinating, such an interesting character to me. But as much as I'm not going to end the video here. I'm trying to actively think about what I'm going to say because I'm going to go to sleep right after this. Maybe I should find a better time to record my videos, but I don't really have that much privacy in my house right now because we got a lot of stuff going on. But I'm working on it. I'll figure something out. But I will make sure to continue to post daily because who would I be if I did not keep that promise of posting daily in MF Rants with two S's for legal reasons. I think that's probably I'm gonna try and make that a running joke of MF Rants with two S's for legal reasons, but I don't know. It depends how popular the channel gets and if people find it funny. But the whole point of the channel is to be funny. So what do you expect? Anyway, oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna try and find new characters actively while recording with you guys. I got like 3 minutes, so I might as well spend it doing something productive and finding new characters. What are we thinking? Hero or villain? I don't know. I'll try and figure something out. But make sure in the comments to tell me what you want to see next and what characters you would like to see in Multiverse Bash. The video's not over yet, but you always got to plug the engagement bait at the bottom. Okay, I already got some good ideas for a hero and villain to add. And you guys ever played Killer Instinct? I love those games. I really like those. I played those before I ever played a Mortal Kombat game, so that really got me into it. The violence of the games was always super fun to me. Would you guys consider Fulgor a hero or a villain? I don't know. I'm gonna put him on the villain side because he seems a little eviler than most. I'm gonna put him on the villain side. Also, the villain side's kind of barren, so I don't want to have that be the case. Okay. Well, I tried to add him. I don't know what's going on. Let me try again, I guess. Or I'll wait. I'll just do it on my other thing. Paste. Okay. Can you guys see this? Hopefully. I don't know. I'll watch the video before I post it, see if you can see this. Well, I'll add Fulgor to the villain side, because we might as well have a Killer Instinct representative. Because I always like to have reps from different games in Multiverse Bash, because that's the whole point. It's supposed to be a way to bring together all these characters and imagine how fun it would be to see them fight. But I don't know if this is ever going to become real, just for legal reasons and such. Because rights are a whole thing. I'm struggling enough to make this like an LLC and have this channel actually be like a product, like productive. But I'm figuring it out as I go. It's a new experience, new story, new way to live. So I guess we'll really see how this goes. But yeah, that's maybe at the end of videos I'll just do completely random ones. I might start live streaming too. Just if I have the free time and no one is in my house, I'll just start live streaming, see what happens. It might as well because people scroll onto live streams all the time, so might as well just start one of those. I don't know whether to do Twitch or YouTube. I could do really either, but I'll probably do YouTube because I'm more experienced with YouTube rather than anything else. But I don't know what other characters I could add to this game. I'm looking for suggestions in the comments because I added one of my only commenters recommendations, but do my best here. So whatever you guys want to do, talk to me in the comments, do whatever you want. Um, Give me topics to talk about, honestly, because I need some of those too. Because I really don't plan out anything. All this entire channel is just off the cuff recording, saying whatever I think of. Can you guys still hear me? Did I mute myself? I'm trying to make this mic's wonky. Sometimes you just accidentally click the mute button and you never know. But it's fine. Thanks for watching. What else can I say? Uh, Ungala. I don't know. I'm trying to extend the time past 10 minutes to do whatever. But suggestions in the comments, engagement baiting. Give me something to work with. But I'll be seeing you.